Allegiance.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, November 24th, 2014. The roll will show that all members are present. Tonight's council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2, minutes, 3, petitioner, 4, chairperson's report, 5, mayor's report, 6A, clerk's report, 6B, treasurer's report, 7, public comment, 8, unfinished business, 9, new business, 10, communication, 11 is warrant 14-22, and number 12, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
The motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Makowski for approval of the agenda as presented. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo? Yes. Chair votes yes. Agenda approved.
2A for approval are the minutes from the regular council meeting held November 10th, 2014.
So moved for November 10th, 2014.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held November the 10th, 2014. Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Abstain.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting held on Monday, November 10th, 2014 at 7:00 p.m. This was a closed session meeting regarding an attorney opinion letter. So moved.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe for approval of the minutes from the special meeting held on Monday, November the 10th at 7 p.m. It was a closed session for attorney opinion. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Abstain.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
There are no petitioners on the agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At 6 o'clock, we had a study session discussing the mutual aid box alarm systems. And at 6:15, we had a study session with the ordinance, Chapter 8, Amendment to update the International Property Maintenance Code. And at 6:30, we had a public hearing concerning the demolition list, 14 through 01. I don't have council ordinance. I don't have any report today. I just want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, and work out when you get through eating all that turkey, whatever you're gonna have, and just have a good time and be safe. That's the most important thing. And this is a good time to be with your family, visit your family, be with your friends. This is a great time of the year, Thanksgiving. We're very fortunate to live in a country that we can enjoy each other and be safe.
Talk about the Lions?
And not yet. And yeah, and by the Lions, Thanksgiving, we will make it to the playoffs. So that concludes the chairperson's report.
So moved to accept the chairman's report. Support.
Okay, motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Choate, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, clerk, treasurer, and audience. Tonight brought a quote that ties to the Thanksgiving message, and it's pretty short and sweet. Gratitude is the best attitude. And as our chairman said, it's Thanksgiving time, and we have a lot to be thankful for. I'm personally thankful for the opportunity to serve our community in this position, thankful for my family, thankful for a council to work with, and a treasurer and a clerk. And we have a lot of great residents that love this community, that are stepping up in a lot of different ways, some behind the scenes, some out front as well. I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize and thank a resident if I could. Last week, we did not have a normal council meeting, and this is a milestone, a birth date that I want to recognize, and I want to read a proclamation that I prepared. It's a proclamation in recognition of Mary Oakley. It says, I, Leroy D. Burcroft, Mayor in and for the City of Romulus, wish to express my gratitude for your countless years of dedication to make our community a better place. Your distinguished service as a former First Lady of Romulus and devotion to the Community United Methodist Church, your support of the Romulus Rotary Club, providing meals, assisting with community enhancement projects, have always been sincerely appreciated. The Oakley legacy that you and Bill created, which is now being carried on by your children, is both inspiring and commendable. Romulus has prospered through your care and your passion, and I wanted to extend my personal congratulations on your 85th birthday, which was last week. So, congratulations, Mary Oakley. You know, often we wait and do proclamations when it's too late. I think it's really important, as council has done and we have done before, that we recognize people when they're celebrating milestone birthdays. The only thing I would ask also, if council would be willing to do a resolution that we could then forward to Mary for her 85th birthday.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for birthday resolution for Miss Mary Oakley. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you very much, council. Couple other things just to make note of. We've had some pretty windy weather come in today. The code red system was utilized to notify people of that. Very high winds. We have had branches and power lines down. I know my house cable is out right now. So if people are experiencing disruption in service, the number one thing is be safe. Please stay away from down power lines. Report them to 911 so that we can respond. Typically what happens is our police and fire come out, secure the scene, notify DTE or whomever needs to be notified to come out and address those issues. We've had a tough couple different storms this last year with a lot of rain and with high winds. So we're jumping into it here early in the winter months. We've had deviation in temperature from 30, 40 degree differences, but it's that time of year and we're in Michigan. So the main thing that we try to do is provide good customer service. We're trying to be proactive. There were notifications put out on cable. Doesn't help if people's cable is out, I understand that, but we do also, that's what prompted us to use this code red system that our interim director of public safety, Mr. Settles, has put in place. So we're trying to proactively call people. If people didn't get calls, you want to make sure your number gets logged in that, let us know and we'll make sure that gets put into that database. But the main thing is, please be safe. We're going to continue to probably have some high winds through the evening. So look out for one another, and that's what a good community does. I do have a couple things for action under my report tonight, if I could. First one is pretty short and sweet. 5A is the Michigan Municipal League dues. What you have a request before you is to authorize a renewal of those dues, and it'll cover us from January 1, 2015 through the end of 2015, and it's $6,956, and those funds have been budgeted for, and Michigan Municipal League is a great resource to be a part of.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. For the
Support.
Michigan Municipal League. And I believe this is based on our population, what we pay, correct?
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski, to concur with the administration and authorize renewal of the Michigan Municipal League membership dues for January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015 in the amount of $6,956. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next up is 5B, and what you have is just a request for a budget amendment, and this is to set up the newly created Oakwood Industrial Pump Station Special Assessment District, which you previously had a study session on. And and the appropriate transfers per your resolution 14-392.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Ms. Roscoe. To introduce budget amendment 14/15-11 to set up the newly created Oakwood Industrial Pump Station Special Assessment District, along with the appropriated transfers per council resolution number 14-392. Any discussion? Ms. McCoskey?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Last item is a request to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the Downriver Mutual Aid box alarm agreement, and that was per our study session earlier this evening. No cost incurred in that.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Mr. Kraut, to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the Downriver Mutual Aid box alarm agreement. Ms. McCoskey?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thanks again, council. That concludes my report, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, thank you.
6A is the clerk's report. Under 6A1 for approval is the demolition of structures and removal of all debris on demolition list 14-01.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes,
I'd like
Ms.
to make the
McCoskey.
motion for us to approve the demolition of the structures and removal of all debris on demolition list 1401, with the exception of adding the note that there will be 2 residences that will be tabled for 90 days because of good faith efforts on the part of the residents. The first one is 35606 Bibbins. The second one is 35960 Vinewood.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Mr. Kraut, for the approval of demolition of structures and removal of all debris on demolition list 14-01, with the exception of the 2 addresses Ms. McCoskey mentioned, which is 35606 Bibbins and 35960 Vinewood. Any discussion? Roll call. Ms. McCoskey?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A2, requesting approval, there's an offer to purchase excess city-owned property.
If I may, I'd like to make the motion
Yes.
that we approve the offer to purchase or allow purchase of excess city-owned property.
Support.
Motion by Ms. McCoskey, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for offer to purchase excess city-owned property. Any discussion?
Mr. Barden, if
Yes.
I could, and through the mayor, I think to our assessor, is this the property that the airport intends to build the rent-a-car complex on? We're talking Smith Road, Middle Belt.
It's in the area where the airport authority has discussed building a consolidated rental car facility. This is actually slightly east of that area.
So
Various
we're going to
city-owned
own
lots.
this property then, right? Or it's for being purchased?
This agreement would allow an individual developer to acquire the city-owned parcels, the scattered city-owned parcels that are in that area to do a commercial development. He is in the process of obtaining a similar purchase agreement from the airport authority and from our TIFA board. That would make him almost the sole owner of all of the lots that would be east of the
Oh, so
consolidated rental car
this is
area.
an individual is going to own this, not the airport itself?
Correct.
Is he the one that's going to build a rent-a-car complex?
No, no, he's
It's a different,
completely separate project.
okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
Ms. Wadsworth. Ms. McCoskey?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Under 6A3, our city planner, Carol Mays, is requesting a study session for December 1st, 2014, to discuss drafted ordinance language pertaining to temporary uses, special events, peddlers, solicitors, and transient merchants. And this would be a 45-minute meeting beginning at 6:45.
So move for a meeting on December the 1st with Carol Mays, the
Support.
city planner.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Abdo, for a study session request from City Planner Carol Mays for December the 1st, 2014 at 6:45. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
The last item under the clerk's report, 6A4, for first reading, is an amendment to Part 2, Chapter 8, Article 7, entitled Property Maintenance, Sections 8-211 and 8-212 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Romulus.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make that motion for first reading to amend Part 2, Chapter 8, Article 7, entitled Property Maintenance, Sections 8-211 and 8-212 of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Romulus, and this is what we had a special meeting on tonight.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski, for first reading to amend the Part 2, Chapter 8, Article 7, entitled Property Maintenance, Section 8-211 and 8-212 of the Code of Ordinance for the City of Romulus.
If I may, under
Yes.
discussion?
Yes, Ms. Makowski.
Just a quick clarification on what this changes. We did have a study session, as Ms. Roscoe mentioned earlier this evening, and this is a simple change. It's essentially just referencing the latest International Property Maintenance Code of 2012 rather than 2009. So it's a simple change.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth. Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
I'd like to wish everyone as well a happy Thanksgiving, and that concludes the clerk's report, and 6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, and residents. I'd like to remind everyone that tax bills are being printed right now, and they will be going out in the mail, and please expect them by December 1st. Also, as a reminder, you have until December 31st to pay those tax bills for income tax purposes, so keep that in mind. I also want to remind residents that the schools have provided me with a second notice that will be included in your tax bills as a reminder that they are going to be moving their portion of taxes over to the summer bill. So the amount that would be on the winter bill will now be on the summer bill for schools only, and then you won't see that amount on the winter portion because it will be moved to the summer. So there's a letter enclosed with the taxes, and there is a contact number, so if you have any questions, please contact them. Also, once the tax bills go out, our office gets questions, and we like to answer those questions and update the back of the tax bill, hopefully answering some of the questions that you may have on your tax bill. So please take a look at the back of that tax bill, and hopefully we have answered some questions for you. Our contact number is on the back there as well. Please feel free to call us at any time. We're more than happy to help you. One last thing on the tax bill, when you receive it, the enclosed envelope to mail the taxes back does have the City of Romulus address on it. In the last few tax bills, you received an envelope that had lockbox on it. Now we're asking for residents to mail the taxes to the City of Romulus. Lockbox has become expensive, and in order to save money, we are gonna go ahead and bring it back in-house. There's a little bit more work for us to do. However, we are happy to process those tax bills. If you do send them to lockbox, they will still be processed there. We understand that, but we've enclosed the envelope with the City of Romulus address, and they'll now be mailed here back at the city. So if you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is the portion on the agenda that those in the audience can have comments. If you'd like to have comments, raise your hand after you've been acknowledged by our chairperson. Ask you to approach the podium and state your name, your address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Mr. Chair, we do have one written request, and this is from Regina Plank.
Okay, Ms. Plank.
Regina Plank, 37147 Wick Road, Romulus. I'm coming up here to ask for y'all's help. We had a family member, one of my sister-in-laws, that was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, inoperable. And she starts chemo tomorrow. She's single, so she's off work, so she needs living expenses and stuff like that. So we have planned a fundraiser on December 12th, a Quarter Mania auction and dinner. And I was just wondering if we could get one of the flyers up on the cable and everything and get the word out. We've got a lot of things donated to us to auction off that night, anywhere from original pieces of art to pots and pans so far. You know, toys, we've got a lot of stuff to auction off. It'll be a fun night. The tickets are $20, but that gets you dinner, which is mazzaroli, breadsticks, salad, and pizza, as well as your first paddle. Now, a Quarter Mania auction, you're not bidding on the highest bid, you're bidding on the chance to win the auction. That's the reason it's a quarter. The highest you pay on a bid is $1. Your chance, depending on the price of the value of the item. You know, if it's a higher item, if it's a $60 or more item, the bid is 4 quarters. If it's a $20 item, the bid is a quarter. So, you know, so that's the reason we tell you, bring your quarters. It's a lot of fun. You can buy extra paddles for $2 at the door, so if you want to bid more than once on an item, you can. And it's it's going to be in the Thai family restaurant over on Eureka Road, where the old Double Eagle was. And they're letting us use the building for all we have to do is pay for the dinners from them. And they're graciously letting us use the building. And just hope that with the spirit of family and Christmas and everything coming up, that everybody will come out. Gwenny is a lifelong resident of Romulus. Her family has dedicated their lives to the city, and would like to have all our friends and family come out and join us.
Mr. Chairman, if we could get that flyer, we could put it on cable. I was going to ask a question on it, because December 12th is also our employee pickup. If we're writing donations, is there information on the flyer that if they just want to make a donation?
Yeah, they can make a
do that?
donation, or they
Okay.
can, and if they would like to buy a ticket, but have us just mark that they're
Okay.
not going
That'd be
to
great.
eat there, so we know that, you know.
I'm sure we have a lot of employees that may want to donate as well, and elected, so if that's on there, we'll
Yeah.
make sure we spread the
Yeah,
word.
and she actually has a GoFundMe page also.
Okay,
You know, and the family right now is trying to help her with her COBRA till Social Security.
Offset
Offset until, you know, thing, but there's still gas getting back and forth to chemo, daily living expenses, co-pays, medication, and stuff like that. And, you know,
well, we'll do what we can do to help and keep you in our prayers.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Appreciate it.
Excuse me, but before you leave, Mrs. Plank, could you give us a contact
You have
info
flyers?
and
I
time?
have flyers for
I-
you.
I know, but if we could say it on TV,
Okay.
maybe other people will hear it.
It's, you contact me at 734-749-5111, and I'll talk to you as long as you want to, and I'll come pick up your donations, whatever. Anybody knows me knows I can talk.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Plank.
Hey, John.
Yes, Mr. Kraut?
I just want to say one thing, with the Plain family. Every fundraiser I've been at, every fundraiser, the Plains are there. They're there helping people out, and they need help, you know. Now they need some help, but we need to step up and help them out, you know. As a matter of fact, me and my wife would be the first one to buy tickets. Thank you.
Well, you're too late.
I'm
Two
too
other
late?
council members already bought them tonight.
Already got
All
you,
right.
Gary.
All right.
But you can still buy the most. The dinner starts at 6, and the auction will start at 7.
Ms. Plank, when is that, what's that price again? I'm sorry.
The ticket is $20, and that gets you dinner and your first paddle.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any other? Thank you again, Ms. Plank.
That was the only written request?
Okay, any other comments from the audience? Yes, Mr.
Good evening, council, ancillary staff. citizens of Romulus. My name is James Reed, 27332 Colgate, Eastern Michigan. I'm here tonight under windy circumstances to file a complaint against the City of Romulus Police Department. I would, Mr. Mayor, request that the clerk provide each council member with a copy of the complaint, and I request that it be stamped and dated. Who would I give this to do that? Turn my phone off so that it doesn't ring. Council, Mr. Mayor, I will try and read my complaint verbatim as I have written it. I am bringing this complaint concerning the Romulus Police Department to you in hopes that this council, this legislative body, and the mayor will look into my complaint and put a stop to the unfair treatment of profiling individuals. On or about November 13th, 2014, at approximately 1:30 a.m., I was driving west on Van Born. I made a left turn onto Merriman Road, heading south towards E-Course Road. After making the left turn onto Merriman Road, I was stopped by a Romulus police officer. I was informed that I was being stopped because I was an older black man with two younger white people in the car with me. The officer had no reason to stop me and then to tell me that the reason was I had two white young people in my car was the reason I was stopped. I was appalled that this was happening. I know there is no law that says what race an individual you can have in your car. This is totally unacceptable that any officer would perform such a stop. This, to me, seems to be a violation of citizens' constitutional right to travel with whom they choose. I can only think, what if my two white nieces, ages 14 and 16, would have been in the car with me? They would, at their impressionable age, have been searched along with me. Therefore, I am formally filing a complaint in this matter, and I am requesting a full investigation into this particular policy, if not policy, practice of profiling. This must be brought to a stop. No police department should be allowed to profile against any race of people simply because they have passengers in the car. I would like to say that the shocking nature of this to me is because I have two young, impressionable, highly performing nieces who are white. And my mind screamed when I thought that they could have been the two younger people in my car, that they would have been searched as I was and as the two younger people in my car were searched. I found that I was compelled to come to tell you about this and to seek whatever assistance you might be able to provide as a legislative body representing citizens and representing the police department. I might also add in final comments that under Section 380 of the United States Code and certain provisions of the Constitution of this great nation, it prohibits any person traveling in this nation from being stopped solely based on who they are riding with in their car. And I might also add, and I do mean this will be my final comment, that whatever gain that the police department may experience from utilizing such a practice, and I want to say it makes and creates and is more harmful to the rights of citizens than they may gain by using this technique. My nieces, I would have refused the search, knowing only that we would have been told to wait until a magistrate was awakened out of his sleep, a warrant received, and then they would have come and searched us anyway. But I would have done that because I would not have wanted my nieces, whom I love dearly, to have experienced that. I have no further comment. If you have any questions, I would entertain them. If not, I will await your response.
Yes, any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like a request of that copy. I did not get a copy of it. I would also like one for our Director of Public Safety, so I guarantee you, we'll do a thorough investigation and let council know and report back to the individual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Chris Ferris. I live at 6009 Wayne Road. What I'm here for is probably less important than your family members and his voice, which I appreciate. I have a property located on Colbert Street in Romulus that's I've owned for 2 years. We bought it with a bunch of other houses in an effort to rehabilitate, to bring the code compliance and city standards, which we've done in the past many times. I believe a letter I wrote to you was forwarded to you earlier today. I know that you made your resolution about the demo list. I believe I was on that demo list. It didn't specify which ones were. But if I was asked that the city council reconsider and table that one as well, so we can have the city inspection tomorrow, which is scheduled, and have some time to speak with Bob and his group and find out what they really want done on the property. I do disagree with the initial assessment that was sent to us in May, that the windows were rotten and things like that because they were newer windows from this the sound attenuation program from the airport. So I also disagree that there was holes in the roof that were allowing access of rain into the property. I do agree that it's not a nice looking property that needs to be renovated. It's on our list in the spring to fully renovate with new roof siding and complete interior renovation, as we've done with 15 or 20 other properties. It's a property I've got about $15,000 invested in. It's my personal money. It's part of my retirement. I want to see it through its conclusion. I think if you look at the properties we've touched in Romulus, they've been brought far above the code compliance into a nice, very attractive home in the neighborhood. And I'd ask for a little time on that property. It's on our list for the spring.
That wasn't one of them.
You want to comment on that, Bob?
I believe that your property was one of the two that we extended for 90
No.
days.
No, because he
I
wasn't
was
here when we were
directed
doing the
to-
hearing.
Wait a minute, we was,
With Mr. McCray.
right, Ms. McCray.
For my records, what was the address of that place, that home again?
7385.
7385 Colbert.
Okay, thank you.
At this point, since council's already passed the resolution, I'm not sure what action would be taken. I know that if council approves it for demolition, they have 20 days to file an appeal at circuit court that can hold off demolition also. It's another option. But at this point, council has taken action already on this
With all
structure.
due respect, though, I drove 231 miles today from my cabin in Calcasas to be here. I got here at 20 after 7 with the rain and the wind because I was told I'd have an opportunity to present to you. There was no opportunity presented when you guys voted on that, and I didn't think it was within protocol to raise my hand and say, wait a second. I sit on various boards as well, and you can make a motion to remove something from the previous motion.
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth.
If you're on the verge of doing something with this property, I would direct you to Mr. McCray the first thing tomorrow morning and sit down with him and work something out. He can help you at this point.
It is being inspected tomorrow by the full city cert inspection tomorrow to determine what needed to be done.
And Bob can bring back a recommendation to this council if he sees fit.
Well, once council has approved it for demolition, as they have, his only means for remedy would be to file an appeal to the court within 20 days of your decision.
You could come back at the next meeting next Monday, Bob, if you had a different recommendation, if this gentleman shows that he's gonna take care of his property.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Kind of along those same lines, the process that started tonight was for the demolition list in whole. There were a couple exceptions that council made on it. I would say, Bob, could you meet with him tomorrow? And if there's inspection, it's in our best interest to keep a home and have it improved. Believe me, sir. We'd rather have a building there that's worth more value and tax revenue than just a vacant property. And if Bob feels, it's really up to his call. If he feels, based on an inspection, you've met that requirement, he can come back and we can still, council can take action that could change it. Once it happens and the bid goes out, though, there's not much we can do. So I would say within the next week, if Bob feels there's something that can be done, he can bring that back to council. But at this point, I would say have him do their inspection tomorrow if you're in town, and we'll wait to hear from him and follow his lead.
Instead of removing it from the list, we could, if he's taking care of the repairs and effectuating the repairs, then we could agree with the other two structures to table it for 90 days. 90 days
Right.
where we're at.
With those others that you're pulling off, until you actually give that final list to the demo company, we have some latitude, but, and I'm sorry you came screaming down and missed a meeting and with the weather, but we're trying to be fair with people, really council and administration, we want good buildings, but we also do know that some people that just aren't gonna put the effort into them, we ultimately have to go through a process, so.
I missed the meeting. Was I supposed to be here before 7:30?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I-
We had the meeting earlier, that's okay, but maybe it wasn't clear enough. The earlier public hearing was where people come forward. This meeting was the action meeting, so when you didn't come forward earlier, council doesn't know anything else other than to keep it on the
Looked at the
list.
meeting agenda, it said 7:30, but
That's fine. You're here now, so we'll try to work with you.
Yeah,
To add, Mr. Ferris has purchased properties and rehabilitated in the past. So,
Ms. Abdo?
track record of doing that.
Yes, Bob, did you know that the inspection was scheduled for tomorrow, that there was an inspection scheduled for tomorrow? See, that was never told to us when we were talking in the hearing. I really feel that this man has traveled a long way. He wrote us a 2-page letter. He has rehabbed other houses in Romulus. I think that we should put him on the list to be tabled immediately. Because you didn't tell us that that was due for an inspection tomorrow.
The inspection is just the inspection, that's not effectuating any repairs.
But it does show that the man is making an effort, that he
Doesn't mean
didn't.
he's gonna pass an inspection.
That's true, it doesn't mean he's gonna pass it, but the man has made effort to do this. He wrote us a letter, and we didn't really give it much credit because you weren't sitting in the crowd, and that's not fair to you.
The building department, they've always been exceptionally helpful to us, so.
So I don't see any reason why we can't make a motion to table this one also now for, what is it, 90 days? Add to the list. And I'd like, if that's possible.
Can I just ask a process question?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. McCoskey.
So the other two that we tabled, they had already gone through and done all of the due diligence and the work before we made the decision, correct, to table them?
Has. One of them was a new owner, and she couldn't secure permits because she didn't own the
Right,
property.
she didn't have the deed.
So they weren't removed from the demolition list.
They're just
They were merely tabled, so I'm not going to solicit bids on those at this time.
And Bob, that just delays the process of the actual demolition and gives them some opportunity. So they're still on the list technically, but
Right.
we're just trying to work with the petitioners, that's all.
So it sound,
I appreciate Madam Councilwoman's recommendation. I would very much appreciate table 9 days. If you can't, it's fine, as long as I can talk to Bob and we come up with a plan. I just want to get the property fixed up.
well, it sounds like we did have a motion, right?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to add that one to the, to be tabled also.
I'll support that motion.
Thank you.
It's been motioned by, can we do that? Let me,
We can do anything.
The motion would be to amend
Amend.
the resolution
Right.
to include that property on that demolition list. So you're going to amend the resolution that you've already taken action
I
on.
would just ask, maybe she read that address in and what you're amending so it's clear in the minutes, and that can be done
Right.
with a majority vote.
7385 Colbert.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to amend the current list that we do have and add 7385 Colbert to the lists that are being tabled for 90 days.
I support that.
it's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. McCoskey for amend the demolition addresses. That's 7385 Colbert.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. McCoskey,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And if I might add just one item, the reason the inspection wasn't grounds enough to remove it from the demolition list, because the inspection could show it could be worse than anticipated. So it's just the fact that somebody scheduled an inspection is not grounds enough for us to remove it from the demolition list. If we would have done that last week and we had inspection results, that'd be something different, no.
Yeah.
But that's the reason that was not brought up.
Ms. Webb?
Eva Webb, 11049 Moore Street. And I'm just here because I wasn't going to say anything, but I noticed our mayor was sort of biting over there, being the former mayor pro tem. I sort of know what was on his mind. In regards to the motion, you do not amend the resolution that you just had. The maker of the motion should have rescinded and then came back with your motion to put the address of Colbert with the 90-day extension, the same as you allowed the other two residents. Then that would have been another motion. And I noticed the mayor, I think he was thinking that, but since he's the mayor, he doesn't have any say in the motions. But yeah, it should have been rescinded by the maker of the motion first, instead of tabling or amending. Thank you.
Should we go ahead?
We'll
and
just
do that?
make it clear in the
Yeah.
minutes that it reflects that those three properties
Yeah.
were the wish of council to be held off, and you'll approve those minutes in the next meeting.
Yep.
So if for
Right.
some reason there's any clarification to be made, we'll do that through the clerk's office.
Plus, the main thing is the job got done, so that's the most important thing. Any other comments? Okay, if no other comments, we'll close that part out.
Number 8 is unfinished business.
Mr. Barden,
Yes, Mr.
if I
Wadsworth.
could, Mayor, tonight in your paper that you tell us what the different department heads are doing, I happen to see where, under Tim Key's report, that he's working with the lobbyists and the state reps to, about something to do with the airport tax. Is our 1.5 million in jeopardy, or?
It is not. There was some discussion. Here's what happened. And Tim and I had several meetings with it, and we met with the lobbyists. We have a lame duck legislature in Lansing right now. We were notified the day before that there was going to come before committee to basically relook at the allocation of the parking tax, and they were looking at having the state take away the county portion. Our concern obviously was for the Romulus portion of 1.5. We were told all along that we were going to be, made whole. It wouldn't impact us. Consequently, that did not happen. There were some changes in people that were pushing for that change. Lansing was originally going to take the money from Wayne County, redirect it in possibly a transportation bill. That was then removed from the committee floor. So at this point in time, based on any information I've had, and I had calls on it even as late as today, the committee does not plan to take that up, even though it was talked about. It could have possibly impacted the county portion, but I was told that that is no longer in committee and that will not happen.
So you're saying that the 1.5 million will continue
Yes,
like
sir.
it has in the past?
Yes, our portion wasn't really in jeopardy. I didn't like the fact that they were talking about us
Yeah, I didn't
without our
either, but,
representation.
1.5
So
million
believe
is a
me, they
good
had my
chunk.
attention, but what I was ensured is all along is that they were talking about possibly reallocating the county portion to the state, but that got removed from committee.
Oh, good, okay. And one other thing under old business, and I'll just say it real quick, as we approach, Christmas and the holidays, if you're thinking about adopting a dog or a pet, don't go to a puppy mill. I mean, a dog or a kitten, don't go to a puppy mill. Check a shelter out first. If you can't find it at the Romulus shelter, tell them what you're looking for, and they'll call around. And if you do adopt, remember, it's a lifetime commitment. These cats and dogs take work, and it's just don't go get one because it's going to look cute under the tree. You're going to get a picture. A cat and a dog is a lot of work, but they do give a lot of love back to the families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth.
If there's no other unfinished business, number 9 is new business. Number 10 is communication.
John,
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Kraut.
I need to send some thank yous out for Helping Hands. Last week, or the week before last, I was helping the residents around us for donations. And Jake from Truck and Auto Repair donated 16 turkeys to Helping Hands. 16 turkeys. And Jake does it every Thanksgiving. He's donating turkeys. And he's located at 5 Points. And I need to thank some other people too. I need to thank people from City Hall that works here and then administration. They donated 6 turkeys to Helping Hands. Thank you, Leroy. I need to thank the City Council that donated the Helping Hands. I need to thank the clerk and the treasurer for the donation to Helping Hands. I need to thank the Boy Scouts. I need to thank the cable women that worked in the cable department. They made donations in cash to Helping Hands. And there's a number of people that don't have their names yet, and I'm trying to get them. They donated 40 turkeys to Helping Hands right now. And a lot of people donated canned goods, boxed goods, and they Thanksgiving baskets out with the turkeys going to these families. And it's a blessing. It's really a blessing, And a lot of people that still want to donate to Helping Hands for the holidays, they're open Tuesday and they're open Wednesday still. If you can't make it Tuesday or Wednesday, they're working on Christmas right now. They're trying to get hams and turkeys for Christmas for the people and for Christmas party. Dinner. And they need cash too. If you send them cash, they'll go and negotiate with the money there. And thank you, and you're blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kraut.
If there's no more communication, the number 11 for approval is warrant 14-22.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cho.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 1422 in the following amounts. For general operating fund, $67,720.18. Major Street Fund is $11,679.74. Local Street Fund, $283,512.09. Cable Department is $273.95. Merriman Road Special Assessment is $10,755. Community Employee Activity is $2,591.50. Sanitation Fund, $84,367.74. Community Development Block Grant is $4,033.93. 9/11 is $2,672.39. Narcotics Enforcement Fund is $1,121.19. Beverly Road Construction is $800. Water and Sewer, $318,941.09. Motor Vehicle Fund is $26,674.03. Technology Services, $24,928.55. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $216,787.08. Property and Liability Self-Insurance is $10,000. Payroll Fund, $207,236.26, for a grand total of $1,274,094.72.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski, to pay warrant number 14-22 for $1,274,094.72. Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, warrant number 12-22 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned.